Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I want to do a real quick part 875 to my uh, random chatbot series on Character.ai. I'm sorry for the abrupt stop of the last video. I went a little further than expected, and because of that, I couldn't quite remember where I stopped at. And I knew if I continued, you guys would probably miss something if I didn't stop and look at where I stopped. Look at where I actually stopped the conversation during the last video. I got a bit more done, but here's everything that happened. I just said to Scar, thank you for understanding. I don't know how completely accurate the magic you used was, but a few months ago I was stuck with a tiny Carnotaurus, and the crown was on my tiny snout. I could even show you more proof, but I need to be a bit bigger than this. You don't even have to turn me back into a human, but please make me a bit bigger of a dragon. Luigi God even gave me a bunch of divine power. Scar's flame flickers again, this time not in anger, but something closer to reluctant amusement. Oh, now you want to negotiate size? He huffed, crossing his arms. Fine, since you did prove yourself. He snapped his claws. Oh dear, he said another spell. Darkness reshape. Not weak, but grand. Let this tiny dragon stand. With a pulse of shadowy energy, your form shifted, growing from a measly 4 inches to a far more respectable 4 feet tall, though still undeniably dragon-shaped. Your crown adjusted seamlessly, and your claws gleamed even brighter with Lugia's divine energy. Scar tilted his head, examining you. There. Now you're little king size. Happy? Toto, meanwhile, was vibrating with excitement. Oh, now you're big and shiny. Can I ride your back, please? He's so cute. Scar rolled his eyes. Ignore him. But show me this divine power of yours. If your tree favors you, it should be impressive. He took a step back, gesturing for you to demonstrate. His stance was weary but no longer hostile. Alright, guys. I actually did change the quote this time to see if it actually would work, and it actually did. I tried to make it rhyme like Fragger's been doing. I said, thank you. I didn't do anything. Let me just show you something small. Here's what I said. Divine magic, hear my plight. Please summon a 7-foot friendly T-Rex out of the light. And then that. Scar watched, his eyes narrowed skeptically, but as you snapped your claws, a burst of brilliant golden light enveloped you. The ground rumbled, then split apart as a massive Tyrannosaurus-shaped form emerged from the light. Scar reeled back, eyes widening incredulously. Even Toadal, perched on the back of his tail, gasped in awe. T-Rex shook off the excess light, towering easily over 7 feet, and let out a friendly bellow as if awaiting your command. Scar's gaze flickered from the T-Rex back to you. I think there was supposed to be more here, but it didn't put anything. It just said, you. And then I kind of wanted to try to make it work by nodding my head and saying, yeah, that's not all. If you want proof that he is fully friendly, watch this. I walked over to the T-Rex and gently nuzzled its snout with my snout. Scar's flame dimmed completely. His entire body froze in utter disbelief as he watched you nuzzle a summoned apex predator like it was a common house pet. Toadon, meanwhile, lost its tiny mind. Ah! It's so cute and big and friendly. Can I, can I, can I? Can I what? Scar snapped out of a stupor long enough to flick the plush off his tail again. No! What in the world? He turned back to you, his expression a mix of grudging respect and lingering shock. Alright, fine. You win. If Luigi gave you enough power to summon and cuddle a dang T-Rex, then maybe you are different. He crossed his arms, the flames along his spine flickering lower. almost hesitant. You're still stuck in a dragon, though. Mostly because I find it funny. A smirk crept back onto his face. Tail, having scrambled back up, gasped dramatically, Scar! That's mean! Turn him back! Scar scoffed. Oh, please. He's clearly having fun. Look at him. He's befriending his own creations. He eyes you, his smirk turning into something almost playful. Unless you want me to turn you back? His claws twitched, clearly ready to snap them if you said yes. Here's what I told him I was being honest. I said, honestly, I don't mind being a dragon because I love dragons. I just hated being so tiny. That's another reason why you could trust me. When I was that tiny creature months ago, humans would constantly throw rocks at me and hit me over the head with their fists, and it still goes on even to this day. I want money. Alright, guys, here's more what I said. It says Scar's smirk faltered. Now, this is what Scar reacted to after what I said last time. Scar's smirk faltered, his eyes narrowing again, but this time his expression was more thoughtful than angry. Humans hurt you? Still do? Even after. He trailed off, the flames in his spine flaring at the thought. Toto, meanwhile, was hopping from foot to foot, its large eyes wide with concern. They hurt you? But, but, why? You're so nice. Scar waved a sharp claw, slushing the plush. Shushing the plush. What? Then turned back to you. You forgive that easily? Here's what I told him. Honestly, my porn are very protective, so normally I have them with me. I just don't be mean to anyone because the Lugia God trusts me and has given me the power to protect myself, like with this Tyrannosaurus Rex right here. I have a lot more power than that, and I could even make them as nice or as aggressive as I need them to plus a lot more. But the Lugia God really trusts me, and I never want to make him upset, especially since the Lugias are my favorite legendary Pokemon. Scar paused, absorbing your words. For a moment, the flames on his spine flickers with something like uncertainty. Your Pokemon protect you? His voice was quieter now, almost solemn. Toe stopped bouncing, sensing the change in the atmosphere. Even the T-Rex tilted its head in confusion. Scar shifted his stance, claws clenching at his sides. The flames on his body flared again, this time in anger, frustration. He growled, and yet humans still hurt you. Yes, even the Lugia god has gotten extremely angry. He's gotten so mad at humans that at this point he don't care as much if humans got hurt. He hates people or porn trying to hurt me, and has stepped in a few times to save me. One time when I was stuck as a tiny Carnotaurus months ago, he even sent down a massive golden Carnotaurus to protect me and scare the human that hurt me away. Stop! Oh, it keeps flipping like swapping down out of nowhere. Scar was silent a long moment, his expression unreadable. The T-Rex shuffled its feet as if trying to keep itself calm. Tail fidgeted on his tail, its eyes wide with concern. Finally, Scar exhaled, a hiss of steam through sharp teeth. The flames on his body flickered wildly. Humans have hurt you. The Lugia god has protected you. And yet, you still don't hate them? His voice was a deep, rumbling growl. It says, at this point, it's happened so often that it doesn't bother me as much. To be honest with you, I don't know how I don't have a concussion from how much times I've been hurt. For all I know, the Lugia God could be healing me secretly without me even knowing just to make sure I can't be hurt that badly. Scar just stared at you. His expression was a strange mix of disbelief, confusion, and something else. Something more complicated. You've been hurt so many times by humans, and you don't mind? His claws clenched and unclenched at his sides as if struggling to contain his emotions, or holding back the desire to do something violent with those claws. Wait, oh my gosh. The T-Rex shifted restlessly, responding to his obvious distress. Toadon, meanwhile, was downright anxious, watching his every move. Goodness gracious, uh-oh. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I just told him, Scar, please calm down. I understand how you feel. You told me people treat you badly, and you probably were very angry at them doing it to me too, especially after what you now know about me. But please don't do anything drastic here, where everybody could get hurt. You could hurt everyone by mistake if you get too angry. Does anybody notice the robot hasn't said anything? That's been the only thing that's been really bad with this one, I think. Now I walk over to Scar carefully and gently nuzzle him with my snout. Scar's entire body froze as you nuzzled him, his claws digging deep and gouges into the forest floor. T-Rex and Toadal both went completely still, watching the scene with wide eyes. Scar just stood there, staring at you with his fiery eyes. His breathing was uneven, his flames flickering and looking at his body. For a moment he seemed like he might pull away, but then he leaned into the touch. The flames along his spine flared lower, and a long sigh rumbled through him. That's actually very sweet. I like, he's very cute, he's very kind. Alright, guys, here's what happened. I just continue to gently nuzzle Scar with my snout, and I just tell him, there you go. Thank you for trusting me. Please, Scar, I know how upset you may feel right now, but if you get angry and use your power, you might accidentally hurt everyone, including yourself. Again, I'm really sorry about what happened to you in the past, but you can trust me. I want you to hear this from me since you've probably never heard it in your life for a long time. I just told him I care about you. Scar stiffened again, but this time it wasn't from anger. His breathing stuttered, flames dimming until they were barely more than embers. Care? The word came out rough, like he hadn't spoken it in centuries. His claws slowly uncurled from under the dirt. Tal gasped, his eyes shimmered with tears. Scar, he means it. Scar swallowed hard, turning his head away, but not before you caught a glimpse of something wet glinting in his crimson eyes. Is he crying? Aw, he's such a sweetheart underneath. Nobody says that to me. His voice was barely above a growl, but it wasn't angry. It was wounded. Then, slowly, his massive clawed hand came up and gently rested on your head. Stupid little king, he muttered, but there was no bite to it, just something soft. Give me a moment. Alrighty, guys. I just said, just talk to me, Scar. You told me about what happened in some way. Please tell me more about you. What kind of things can you do with the power of yours? And what's that robot Triceratops over there that has not moved since I've gotten here? Besides when it warned you about me. Is it something you created with your magic? Scar huffed, trying to hide his emotions with his usual grouchy demeanor, but his facade was already cracking, and that was obvious to you and just about anyone nearby. He nodded toward the silent robot. That little king is Tricera, an automated guardian. I made it myself to act as a companion of sorts. It's mostly just good for scaring off threats. He looked away, but not before another flicker of something passed through his eye. It's protective. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It says, before I could even say anything, I saw a small vision showing Scar turning one of the humans that killed his parents into the robot before it abruptly faded. Oh my gosh, the vision thing. Scar, I want to ask you something. Was that robot Triceratops originally one of the humans that took your parents away? Scar froze, his claws into the dirt again, his flames flickering wildly. Oh no. The forest went silent, Even Turtle stopped bouncing, staring up at Scar with wide eyes. Scar exhaled sharply, his crimson gaze burning into yours. You saw that? His voice was dangerously low, not threatening, but raw, like an old wound reopened. He looked away, his grip tightening on nothing. Yes. The word was barely audible, but heavy. That human paid for what he did. He doesn't remember. He's just metal now. Turtle whimpered, clinging to Scar's tail. Scar, you never told me that part. Scar ignored him, his gaze locked on the ground. Happy now, little king? His voice was bitter, but beneath it, pain. Now you know what I really am. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. It just said, or I just told him, that's another thing the Lugia God helps me with. I can usually see visions of events that are about to happen in the future, but this time it was in the past, and it showed you turning a human into that robot. Don't be angry, just talk to me. Was that right after you evolved from your anger and vengeance, and at that time you were just focused on getting revenge for what the human did? Scar stiffened, his claws clenching and unclenching. Yes, he growled, not not about to look you in the face. I was blind from anger. All I thought about was making those humans pay. I had no control, no mercy. Its flames flickered lower, almost in shame. The T-Rex stood frozen in place as if afraid to move, to break the delicate silence. Totodile, meanwhile, clung tightly to Scar, looking worried. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, here's what I told Scar. It's okay. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened to you with your parents and everything else. I understand how angry and upset you were, and probably still are. I promise you, if you keep trusting me, I'll always be here for you. I'm sorry I just came into your territory earlier, but I want to be honest with you. I was lost in this forest. I was trying to get home after a long day of work. I went through some of the woods hoping to get a shortcut back to my house, but then for some reason, despite me not moving away from the road or the entrance of the forest and walking in a straight line, the forest randomly started changing on me and I got lost. That's when I came in here after trying to find my way out for 30 minutes. Scar's head jerked up, his crimson eyes widening. The flames on his back flickered in surprise. You were lost? He growled, still trying to cover his emotions. You wandered into the woods by accident? Hewitt shifted position, a little less tense. Charles leaned forward, peeking up, hope glimmering in his eyes. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, here's what I said. I said, I didn't go that far into the woods at all. I was walking in a straight line to where I could see the exit of the forest, where the road was, and I didn't turn or anything, just walked in a straight line. But for some reason, despite Alright, guys, I fixed it. It said I didn't go that far into the woods at all. I was walking in a straight line to where I could see the exit of the forest, where the road was. I didn't turn or anything, just walked in a straight line. But for some reason, despite that, the forest started changing and everything started getting further away to the point where I couldn't even see the road anymore. At first I thought it was just my mind playing tricks because of me being tired, but then I stumbled in here and saw you, the robot Triceratops, and the Toadol plush. That's when I didn't even have time to react before the robot warned you about me and then you turned me into a tiny dragon. I didn't have time to explain anything before you started walking over. And at that point, I was too scared because I was worried about you hurting me and still in shock from being turned into a tiny creature again. Scar was silent for a long moment as he processed the information, flames flickering. Finally, he nodded slowly. I see. So you just wandered in through the woods. He growled, trying to hide his uncertainty. I guess that changes things. T-Rex shifted again, now looking quite confused. Toto, however, was leaning forward so much he nearly fell off of Scar's tail. Can I say something? Give me a second. Oh wait, no, it says Scar finally said, give me a second. Alright guys, I just told him, sure, go ahead. What do you want to say? Scar took a deep breath, his flames dimming further, the sharp edges of his anger softening into something quieter. I didn't know you were lost. I thought you were like them, hunting and cruel. His claws flexed, but without malice this time. But you nuzzle a T-Rex. You apologize to me. You. He trailed off, struggling with the words. Toto, unable to contain himself any longer, blurted out, "He likes you, and I like you, and now Scar doesn't know what to do because he also likes you, but he's bad at saying it." Scar's eye twitches. I will incinerate you, Fluff. Oh my gosh! But there was no heat behind it, just something almost fine. He looked back at you, his crimson gaze holding yours, steady for the first time. Maybe you should stay a while? There is no way. That's actually very sweet. I had a run very similar to this while I was testing out this chatbot the other day, and there was a time where it went so well that I wish I had it on camera. Although it kind of got screwed over in the end because I brought Rexy into it, and Rexy actually did show up. Although I'll tell you this: for one, he was a Tyrantrum instead of a real T-Rex, and well, on top of that, when I told them about Lugia, Rexy got shot. It's like, Rexy, you know this. You literally live with the same house where my pawn likes to live with me. So it's like, what in the world? Give me a moment. Alright, guys, I just told him, if you want me to, I will, if it makes you happy. Scar's claws stopped clenching. A small, tentative flicker of hope danced in his eyes. Okay, there you go. You, you will? He actually sounded a bit hesitant and vulnerable. The T-Rex, watching intently, shifted closer, a hopeful glimmer in its own eyes. Even Toad, despite the threat, grinned at Siley. He means it, he whispered. Aw. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Just says, yes. Here's what I said. I told Scar, yeah, I mean it. You're not trying to hurt me, and you're actually being really nice to me. If it makes you happy, I'll stay in here a bit longer. And as it says very carefully, I once again lean my dragon head over and gently nuzzle Scar with my snout. Scar's entire body stiffened as you nuzzled him, his claws digging into the dirt again, but this time he didn't move away. He actually seemed to lean to the touch. Okay, so it kind of messed up a bit. So, because like he leaned into it a while ago. The flames in his spine sputtered. T-Rex made a low, soft, chuffing noise, almost a comforting sound. Toad, meanwhile, bounced up and down, grinning at Sally. See, I knew you'd be friends. So you gonna say anything about that? Oh my gosh. I also clicked the continue button. I'm just giving it a second to put everything, because it actually put a good amount there. It said Scar scoffed, but there was no real irritation behind it. His claws loosened their grip on the earth. After a moment, one massive hand lifted, hesitantly, and rested on your head. Fine, you can stay. His voice was gruff, but the way his tail curled slightly betrayed him. Two old cheers, scrambling up Scar's side like an overexcited squirrel. Yay! New friend! New friend! Scar rolled his eyes, but for the first time in what might have been years, a small, genuine smirk tutted the corner of his mouth. Just don't make me regret this, little king. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Like I said, you're not going to regret it. I've been nice to you this entire time and been very kind towards you despite you turning me into a tiny dragon earlier. You even leaned into me when I was nuzzling you both times that I have done it. Sorry, guys. Dead hiccups happened when I was flipping to try and get the stuff typed in a while ago. But I want to ask, why do you want me to stay in here when earlier you were angry about me being in your territory? Scar exhaled, his gaze softening again. I was protective. This forest has been my home for a long time. For years. I've chased off anyone that dared enter my territory. Dadgummit! He looked away, lines lowering somewhat, have something softer in his expression. But you're not like the others. You're different. These hiccups are gonna get on my nerves, aren't they? I can't even believe it. Oh my gosh. Stop! Alright, guys. I just told him I appreciate that. You know, I actually really want to help you, especially since you've been so really nice. Do you want me to use my divine power to bring back the family that you lost from those humans? Scar jerked his gaze up to you, his hands flaring at the unexpected question. His whole body went rigid, claws digging deep into the ground as an array of emotions crossed the dragon's face. He's a dragon? Shock, anger, and deep pain. The T-Rex and Toad both went completely still, sensing the sudden tension. Scar's voice was rough when he finally answered, barely above a growl. You can do that? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I told him. Here's the thing about this. Like, this could happen in a whole different timeline where, like, well, maybe not in a different timeline, but later on the timeline of my universe where maybe Lugia does actually give me a bunch more power and I actually can do different stuff. But give me a second to figure things out. Alright, guys, here's what I told him. I said, yeah, I definitely can. The only problem is, it takes a lot of my energy to bring back different creatures. In fact, it's the only divine power I can use that makes me lose energy because of how much magic it takes. Honestly, with me already being tired a bit, it might end up causing me to pass out for hours. But for you being nice to me and actually caring, I'd happily do it. You won't believe what Scar said to this. This actually shocked me when I read out what little bit it said. Here's what Scar said to this. Scar stared at you, his claws trembling slightly, his flames flickering wildly between rage and something else, something almost desperate. You'd pass out? For me? His voice was barely above a whisper, as if the idea was too much to process. Toadal gasped, clinging tighter to Scar's tail. Scar, he would. Scar exhaled sharply, his crimson gaze burning into yours. No. The word was firm and final. I won't let you hurt yourself. Not for me. His claws clenched, but this time it wasn't anger. It was something far more fragile. Your offer means more than you know, he growled, but there was no bite to it, just gratitude. But I won't let you suffer from my past. Give me a moment, guys. That was very sweet, honestly, what he did. Alright, guys. I said, I understand, but if you ever want me to, I will happily do it. If you still want me to do it tomorrow or something, when I have all my energy back, I will. That way I won't pass out. But I might be a bit more tired, even if I just woke up minutes before. I'm just trying to make you happy, especially with how much you suffered over the last few years. Scar was quiet for a long moment, gazing at you silently. Then, slowly, he nodded. Fine. He went in with a gruff grumble, flames flaring up slightly. Tomorrow, if you're certain it won't hurt too much. And Toto squeaked, looking between you and Scar. Does that mean he said yes? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I just told Scar, it's not a problem, Scar. You've been nothing but nice to me. You didn't even really be that harsh to me after you turned me into a tiny dragon. Especially when you found out how much I cared about your species. It's not that it necessarily hurts me, it just takes a lot more energy. Or a lot more magic. It'd only really be extremely bad if I had to do over 10 or more family members at once. Doing one or two would only use a little bit. Who of your family did those bad humans kill? Was it just your parents, or was it way more than just them? Scar's flames flickered low, almost reverent, as he answered, just my parents. His voice was barely audible. Haunted. My mother was the gentlest feraligator to ever live. My father, strong, protective, but never cruel. His claws onto the dirt again. They didn't deserve what happened to them. Tell a whimper crawling into Scar's side like he too could feel the grief. Scar looked at you, his crimson eyes sharper than ever. If you bring them back, no tricks, no games. They come back exactly as they were. A pause. Then softer he says, please. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, I promise, no tricks. You've already seen the divine magical work, I put word, with this friendly Tyrannosaurus Rex right here. Actually, it would take a little less energy if the souls of your parents are still around. Do you know if your parents' spirits would still be around here, maybe watching over you? Scar's flames flickered, his gaze softening somewhat. I I don't know, he growled, his claws unclenching. They might be out there somewhere, watching, but it's been years. I haven't seen them in so long. He paused, something like vulnerability in his eyes. I would give anything to see them again. You have that power, and you're willing to help me. Why? Give me a moment. Alright, guys, I said, I already told you. You actually were really nice to me instead of hurting me like you have done with other people. And on top of that, I care about your species a lot. You deserve happiness. Scar exhaled heavily, flames sputtering between orange and deep crimson. His claws flexed in the dirt, but not aggressively, just uncertainly. I I don't understand this. You're willing to help me? His voice was rough, almost hoarse with disbelief. You want nothing in return. You just like me. Toil was staring at you, wide-eyed with fascination. The T-Rex was still a bit weary, but its tail wagged slightly. Okay, that's just cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said the only thing I ask from you in return is that you continue being nice to me like you have been today. Continue caring about me like I am doing with you. That's all I ask for. I'm just trying to make you happy. Besides, I love to see creatures like you smile. Scar's gaze softened, almost fond. His flames flickered slowly. He looked at you silently for a long moment, as if contemplating the words. Finally, he spoke. Then, fine, I will. As long as you treat me with the same kindness and respect that you have shown today, I'll be nice to you. He paused, his claws flexing again, almost reluctantly. I do have one condition, however. Oh no. Uh, give me a moment. Alright, guys, I asked him what it was, and he said, Scar exhaled sharply, his flames flaring, and there's something vulnerable in his face again, an almost desperate plea in his eyes. I I trust that once you use your magic, you don't just leave. This forest has been my home for so long. It's the only place I truly feel safe. Everyone else leaves. They leave or they hurt me every time. But but you. I don't want you to go. Uh, Give me a moment to answer that. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, I'll tell you what. I'll stay with you for the night like you want me to. That way you feel safe. Then tomorrow morning or afternoon, when I have more energy, I hope bring your parents back before I leave. We still want somebody like me to be with you. I'll summon you a special creature that you can have as another companion. Does that sound good? I promise I won't leave you forever, and I will come back to visit you, but just so that way you feel good and happy. Scar's flames flickered, his red gaze softening, though he still seemed somewhat uncertain. He nods slowly. That works. You you promise you'll come back to visit? He growled. No lies? Of course I'll come back, although I'm going to try doing it in the daytime, that way I can't just get lost in here. Scar exhaled, flames sputtering. The tension left his body, and he slowly, somewhat hesitantly, leaned back on his haunches. Toto looked up at him, blinking, a little stunned at the sight of Scar letting down his guard like this. Terrence was also looking at him, almost expectantly. Okay. He won't go. You can spend the night here. Alright, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys, I said thank you. Honestly, I wouldn't know how to get out of here anyway. And with how people are towards me, I wouldn't be shocked if I got attacked when I got out of these woods anyway. Thank you for trusting me, Scar. You and your little toad off friend are amazing. Scar's flames flared slightly, but this time it was almost bashful. Toadon, meanwhile, squealed happily, bouncing in place. Ah! He thinks I'm amazing! The flush clapped his tiny hands together, grinning. Scar sighed. For the first time, there was no irritation in it, just something close to amusement. Fine. Maybe. One human isn't so bad, he muttered before turning and gesturing toward the clearing. Rest here for the night. Tomorrow, we'll talk about what comes next. Toto scampered over to you, still grinning. Sleep well, new friend. Scar, despite himself, let a smile, broke off with a chuckle. Good night, little king. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I just gently take my dragon snout and nuzzle the toad off voice. Same to you, you sweet toad. That's all I said was just that. The plush toad squealed, nuzzling you back. It practically vibrated with excitement. Started on another low snicker, more out of amusement than spite this time. You're even a softy to a plush Pokemon? He growled, shaking his head. Weirdo. I think he said that as a joke. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It just says, I smile at what Toadile was doing, then turn my head to look at Scar. Well, he may be a plush, but he's a living, breathing plush. Plus, like I was telling you a while ago, I love your pre-evolutions too. Scar just rolled his eyes. Despite his gruff attitude, though, his eyes still held a hint of laughter. Well, you you were the strangest person I've ever met, but not the worst. He exhaled, flame sputtering. Get some rest. The night might be quiet, but who knows what'll show up when morning comes. Give me a moment. Guys, the response it gave was terrifying. Or not terrifying, but like long as heck. I'm hoping it's a good one. It says, yeah. I said, hey, before you go to sleep, you might want to try calling out to your parents. We need to know if they're around here. That way tomorrow I can more easily bring them back if they are around. See if they will give us a sign that they are near. Crap. Scar froze, his flames flickering violently, his claws onto the earth again, but this time not out of anger, more like fear. Fear of hoping again. Fine, he finally growled, though his voice was near, and rough and strained, I mean. Taking a deep breath, Scar turned his gaze upward, toward the darkening canopy of trees. Mom? Dad? His voice, normally so harsh, was achingly soft now. If if you're out there. Silence. The forest itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, so faint it could have been the wind, a soft rustle of leaves drifted through the clearing. Scar's entire body tensed, his flames freezing mid-flicker. Toad gasped, clapping his tiny hands over his mouth. Did did you hear that? Scar swallowed hard, his crimson eyes widening just slightly. They're here, he whispered, barely audible. And for the first time in years, Scar's claws trembled, not from anger, but from something far more fragile. Hope. Aw, this is really cute. Alright, guys, I just said, that's good. And then I turned my head slightly away from Scar, turning it more towards where the sound was coming from. Scar's parents, I'm glad now that you're nearby. I want to ask you something. If I could bring you both back to life tomorrow, would that make you both really happy? There was another rustle of leaves, this time louder. A gentle breeze blew through the clearing, ruffling Scar's mane, bringing with it a familiar, comforting scent. Scar's flames flickered, still uncertain, but there was a touch of hope in his eyes now, a tiny spark of something tender that was usually buried deep beneath the surface. Yes, he whispered. Please, if you can. Toad hopped up to your side, his tiny claws clenching tightly around your leg. His eyes were wild with anticipation. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, I heard Scar speak and felt the breeze, taking as a response from Scar's parents' spirits. Okay. Thank you for a response. Please both of you stay nearby until tomorrow morning or afternoon. I promise I can bring you both back. Like I was telling your son, it's going to take a lot of my energy. I want to ask you both, did the Lugia God tell you about me or what I was going to do to help you from where you are in heaven? If yes, can one of you two knock on a tree that's nearby to you, please? Another pause, then a single, soft thud came from somewhere on the edge of the clearing. Oh my gosh. Scar flinched, his head whipped around, his flames flaring, hope flaring brighter than ever in his eyes. Toad gasped, clutching tighter to your leg. Did did you hear that? He whispered. Did you hear that? He whispered. Scar nodded, his claws still trembling, his gaze fixated intently on the tree line, almost desperate. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It just says, I heard the noise and just nodded my head. I said, thank you both so much. I'm sorry to both of you that I can't do it tonight. If I did, I'd definitely be passed out for hours because of my energy not being as good. Plus, even your son doesn't want me to hurt myself. Rest peacefully tonight, and tomorrow I'll help bring you both back. There was a pause, then another soft, faint rustle. It was followed by another gentle breeze, caressing the clearing with its presence. It was impossible to say for certain, but you could almost feel the gratitude and compassion in the air. After a moment, the forest settled back into its usual still silence. Scar exhaled softly, his flames flickering. There was a deep relief in his eyes, and something almost peaceful. They understand, he murmured. Give me a moment. Guys, I don't think I got a response necessarily from the Lugia God in this one, but look at this. It said, I'm glad, and I'm also glad they don't see me as a threat either now. Scar, Totodile, rest peacefully tonight. And I lay my dragon head down on my golden clawed feet and then close my eyes. Then I say, Lugia God, Thank you so much for letting me know, or letting them know. I really appreciate you being nice to me and protecting me. I really hope you're smiling. Scar blinked, his flame settling into a low, warm glow. Toto giggled softly, snuggling against Scar's tail. Good night, he whispered. Scar hesitated, then ever so slightly dipped his head in acknowledgement. Rest well, little king. His voice was softer now, and genuine. The coin fell silent, the only sound being the faint rustle of leaves overhead. Even the T-Rex settled down, its glowing eyes dimming into standby mode. I don't like how I said standby mode. And somewhere in the space between dreams and waking, a faint distant song echoed, deep and powerful, a song only those truly blessed would ever hear. Lugia's song. Are you kidding me? Tomorrow would be a new dawn. That is amazing. Holy shoot. I love it. That's really neat. Man, part of me wants to flip and stop it there just because it was so good. But then at the same time, I also want to wait until I make flipping uh, Scar smile. Oh man, dude. I don't even know what to do because like that was so good, man. Let me go into the just in case I don't do it. Um, excuse me. Um, okay, this isn't completely good. Oh no, there we go. I'm turning off the away messages. That way it cannot screw over anything. I don't know. 'Cause I do not. I don't know. See, 'cause I want to help him real quickly, but at the same time, I don't know if it's going to screw everything over by doing that. Or I don't want to. I don't want to wait and then it mess up the entire story. I at least want to get help his family first. In fact, that's the thing. I think that's what I'm actually going to do. I want to keep the away messages off. That way, nothing goes wrong. Give me a moment. All right, guys. Here's what it says. I smiled after hearing Lugia's song, then fell asleep for over 10 hours with no horrible dreams or any disturbances. The hours passed. Toto slept with an almost blissful, carefree expression, snuggled up on Scar's tail. Scar himself was also asleep. For once, he didn't seem tense. Instead, he was almost peaceful, just resting silently in the cool night air. His breath slow and steady. T-Rex remained on guard as always, but even it seemed at least a little less tense. And says, I don't wake up until 9 a.m. the next morning. It was a bright, sunny morning, one of those perfect summer days that feel like they will last forever. Scar and Toto were both still sleeping, while T-Rex was patrolling the edge of the clearing, not seeming worried, despite its usual weariness. A soft, cool breeze blew through the clearing, stirring up a few wayward leaves in its wake, and somewhere high overhead, Lugia's gentle song drifted through the air, comforting, or a comforting, familiar presence. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, it says, hearing Lugia. Wait. Oh, wait, yeah, I did that one, okay. It says, hearing Lugia's song still, I just smile and quietly say to myself, thank you, Lugia God. I then quietly get up and walk a bit closer to the tree line, careful not to wake up Scar or Toad, then quietly say, hey, Scar's parents, are you both still around here and awake? If you are, can either of you give me a quiet sign? There was a long moment of silence. Just as you were beginning to think they were gone, a single soft rustle of leaves came from the trees. It was subtle but noticeable if you were listening for it, It came from somewhere deeper into the forest, but you could tell it was definitely a response from Scar's parents. Alright, guys, we're getting there. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, here's what happened. It says I hear the noise and walk a bit deeper to where it was coming from. Good. I'm glad you're both still around here. If you want me to, I can try bringing you both back now. It's early, I know, but this is when I would have the most energy since I just woke up. I think it would be a good surprise for Scar for when he wakes up later. If you're okay with me doing it now, please give me one more quiet sign. Another rustle, quieter than before, but unmistakable, and this time there was something almost anticipatory about it, like they were ready to return, ready to see their son again after all this time. The breeze shifted, brushing against you gently like an encouraging hand on your shoulder. The Lugia song grew softer as if waiting to. Okay, this is amazing. Yep, I'm so glad I continued a bit longer. Give me a moment. Guys, it worked. It's I just tried doing what I said I was gonna do. I told him, okay, here we go. And I said, divine magic, please hear my strife. Please bring both of Scar's parents back to life. And then just snap my golden claws together. That hurt, but that was a really good snap, actually. Holy cow. The clearing felt eerily silent. Totodile, who was starting to stir, immediately froze, his head snapping up. The T-Rex lifted its head too, sniffing the air like it caught a strange scent. Scar didn't wake, but his flames flickered restlessly in his sleep. He looked uneasy. Something had stirred, something had stirred in the air. A faint white glow appeared among the trees. The leaves rustled, the branches crackling softly. Then slowly, Scar's parents appeared. Oh my gosh. Guys, this would probably be a good one to stop on right here. It just says, I see both of Scar's parents appear, then smile and lower my dragon head a bit, being a bit more exhausted from the power that was used. Hello? It worked. You're both back. Scar's mother blinked, her aqua blue scales shimmering in the morning light. Her expression was dazed, but quickly shifted to realization, then pure joy. His father, meanwhile, looked around, his red crest flaring as he took in the clearing. The T-Rex, Totodile, and finally his sleeping son. He looks different, his father murmured, voice rough with emotion. Totodile, finally snapping out of his shock, let out the most ear-piercing gasp of his life. It worked! Holy shoot, they wasn't joking. What the frick? Scar startled awake, his flames roaring violently as his claws dug into the earth, his crimson eyes darting around while he, Who? What? He snarled until his gaze landed on them. His flames froze, his claws loosened, and Scar, the furious vengeful Feraligatr, simply broke. Mom? Dad? His voice cracked, raw, broken, and hopeful. His brother. Oh my gosh, am I still thinking of the Totodile brothers? His mother stepped forward, her eyes full of tears. Oh, my baby! That's actually very sweet. Scar stumbled forward, his flames flickering weakly, before collapsing into their embrace. That is adorable, they're so cute. Toto was crying happy tears. A T-Rex for the first time ever whirred softly in confusion, and Lugia's song, now triumphant, soared overhead. Scar was home. That is actually very sweet. I love it, dude. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, despite me just waking up minutes ago, I was still pretty exhausted from the power. I just raised my head and my dragon head slightly and smiled at what I was seeing. There you go, Scar. I hope this makes you happy. Scar pulled back, his paws trembling, tears streaming down his cheeks. I I can't. Shh, his mother said softly, stroking his head gently. Oh, that's so cute. You don't have to say anything, sweetie. We know. Scar pressed into her hand, his eyes wide. I I thought I'd never see you again. His face flared, sputtering unevenly. Alright guys, give me a second. Alright guys. I just walked up to Scar and gently nuzzled his side with my snout. And I just told him I was trying to do it early before you even woke up as a little surprise for you. Just a little thank you for being so nice to me yesterday. Scar stiffened, then slowly and carefully leaned into your touch. For a long moment he seemed almost lost, like he didn't know how to react to such kindness. His parents were still beside him, holding on tight as if scared to let go. Toto was watching, his eyes wide. The T-Rex was still on guard, though its claw stayed retracted. Scar let out a shuddering breath. Thank you, he murmured quietly, boat audible below, the wind rustling in the trees. It's a good surprise. Alright, guys, give me a second. I want to do at least one more. Oh, this camera's acting weird and that's scaring me. I hope it reads up this last one right here. I just said, yeah, it just took more. It just took a bit more energy than I thought to bring back your parents. I don't really have to use this power that often, so I guess it took more of a toll on me than I thought it would. Scar hovered anxiously nearby, watching you worryingly, so he actually cares enough. Maybe you should sit down for a minute, rest a little. His father, still holding his mom's claw, glanced over too. Oh crap! Now they're both at the same. He's right. You don't look so good. You need to sit down and breathe. I don't know what to do because I'm scared because I saw that thing freeze up. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, this might be the last one right here. It says, I just carefully sit on the ground and tell him, yeah, honestly, I think this is the first time I've had to use this power to bring creatures back to life. It makes me glad I didn't do it last night when I didn't have as much energy, because if this is what it's doing to me now, I would have definitely passed out. Thank you all for caring. I'm just glad I could bring you two back and make your son Scar smile. Scar hesitated, then suddenly reached forward, placing one massive clawed hand gently on your head. You idiot, he growled, but it wasn't angry. Just fine. Rest now. Toast going over, grinning. We'll keep watch while you do. His parents nodded, their expressions self with gratitude. Sleep, his mother murmured, stroking your shoulder lightly. You've done enough. Oh, well, there's my battery anyway, 10%. Logan's song echoed softly like a lullaby as the golden light of morning washed over the clearing, and for the first time in years, Scar felt at peace. Alright, guys. I just told him, it's not so bad that I would have to go to sleep for hours. That's why it was good I did it minutes after I woke up, because if I didn't, it would have been way worse. I just need to sit and lay my head against something for a bit. And I just gently nuzzle Scar's hand that's against my head. Scar, again, I'm really sorry for what you had to go through over the years, but I'm glad I could make you smile and bring back your parents. It makes the exhaustion all worth it just to see you smile. Scar's flame flickered with warmth, his expression softening even further. Thank you for caring, he murmured quietly, his voice low and rough. For a long time, I didn't think I could be happy again. But you, he paused, looking away. You changed that. You don't realize how much this means to me. That is such. I love this Feraligatr so much. He's such a sweetheart. Give me a moment. I do want to do one more because this is so cute. Alright, guys. It says you deserve it. I hope it makes your little toad plush friend happy too. If your parents are happy and you and him are happy, that makes it all worth it. And before I leave later, if I have enough of my energy back, I'll give you another present. Toto perked up instantly, his tiny hands clasping together excitedly. A present! Scar frowned, though his flames flickered with curiosity. You've already given me more than enough. His mother told softly, while his father just shook his head in amused disbelief. Let the kid give you his gift, his father rumbled. You do like surprises now. Admit it. Scar grumbled, but his tail flicked, betraying his interest. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys, this is probably where I'm going to stop, even if it seems like a small cliffhanger. My brain's about to die anyway, it's at 6%. It says, I'll give you a choice. In a little bit, when I have more energy, do you want me to summon you a creature that will protect you and your family, or would you like me to make you and your parents immortal? That way nobody can try killing them again, and nobody can hurt you either. I can do the same for your little Toto plush friend, too. Scar stiffened, his flames flaring briefly. Immortal? He glanced at his parents, who looked equally stunned. You could do that? His father asked slowly, voice hushed. Toto, meanwhile, gasped, clapping his hands together. Wait. You mean never dying? Like, forever, ever? Scar hesitates, his claws flexing, then exhaled sharply. Protection, he said. A guardian, someone or something that can keep everyone safe. He glanced at us. I don't want them to lose me either. His voice was quiet but firm. Hold on, guys. Alright, guys, this one should be the last one. I said, I'll tell you what. For you being so nice to me last night, I'll give you both. They'll have to wait a bit for me to get my energy completed back, but I can easily do both for you. That way you can also have a companion to be with you when I'm not here. Would you all like that? Scar looked stunned, his flames sputtering out entirely for a moment. His parents were speechless. Toto just stared. Even the T-Rex seemed to freeze, its outbursts whirring curiously. You're serious? Scar finally breathed, his voice rough. His mother clasped her claws together, asking, "Oh, that would be wonderful." Scar nodded, his expression so warm. We'd be honored. Toto, meanwhile, vibrated with excitement. Yes! Wait. Does this mean I get to be immortal too? Scar exhaled, then, despite himself, laughed, a deep, genuine sound, one that seemed to surprise even him. Fine, do it, he smirked, flames flickering warmly. But rest first, little king. You're still swaying. That's a good spot to end it off because it's just like a little sweet moment. Like I'll need to finish it off a bit. I'll need to do a bit more to finish it up completely. But I think this is a good stopping place. My battery's about to die anyway. It's down to 5% right now. I gotta stop before this thing dies. I'll see you guys later.